Yo, AnimatorBot here, with another Rick and Morty review for you. Spoiler warning. In this episode, Rick and the family are invited to Bird Person's wedding. After the wedding, during the reception, right? Reception, I think? I don't know wedding lingo. Anyway, Tammy gives a speech, and we find she reveals herself as actually an undercover agent, and that that caught me way off guard. I was not expecting that at all. In fact, it's kind of a retcon. I mean, if you go back, I don't know, it's hard to tell. I'm guessing it wasn't planned. It doesn't feel like it was planned. Kind of feels like they made it up, but it works kind of whatever, I don't care. And holy crap, Bird Person's dead. He's dead. He died. I mean, this is the sort of deaths that I kind of like to see, because it creates a sense of like anyone could die. This was Bird Person, Rick's best friend. We've seen him in 2 previous episodes, and he seems like a great guy, and everybody loves him. And now he's dead. Excuse me. Really creates a sense of like worry and dread for every character, because it's well, maybe not every character. I mean, pretty much the main family is off limits, but anyone else I think is up in the air in terms of will they survive. Rick was finally starting to open up, and then this happens, and now he's sworn to like never open up again like that, never let his guard down. The question remains, is this a character regression or a progression in disguise? Some could see it as Rick not changing, Rick still staying apathetic and in his shell like he always is, and him going back to that. On the other hand, Rick just lost his best friend, and while he's upset at the moment, this could easily prove to be a sort of push, if you will, into another direction, into being closer with his family. I mean, he just lost someone. He just lost someone he cared about, and now he's on the run. He is on the run with his family, other people he cares about. Maybe this could push him to be closer to them, and in the end, Rick might not just close himself off, as he may learn that you can't always live his life like that. Maybe we'll have to wait, or if it depends how you look at the ending of this episode. Maybe he has. We'll get to that. Now we reach the pinnacle of Jerry not being characterized well. Well, the problem isn't really Jerry himself, as how everyone around him treats him. It's gotten kind of painful to watch, as everyone is kind of being a dick to him. It's kind of to an absurd degree, and I can't. It's really hard to watch at times, because he undeservedly comes across as a jerk. And in most situations in this episode, I think he's kind of in the right, or at least right to come from the area he is coming from. Rick has constantly shown that he does not like Jerry, and so why should Jerry even care about Rick? I mean, why would he? Why should he? It's obvious why the others do. Beth, father, and the grandkids, obviously, they like him. But why should Jerry care? Or at least, why should he be as devoted as he should? On the other hand, it's easy to see where the others are coming from, especially with Summer's line, which I love, about how you should love someone unconditionally and don't expect anything in return, which does kind of make Jerry kind of an asshole for what he's doing, but still, he's looking out for the rest of the family. Or, I guess you could argue he's being selfish and only thinking about himself. Either way, I think it'd be better served to just have that as itself and not have every single other character constantly harping on him, just constantly berating him. It's hard to watch. Morty tells Rick that he can handle him leaving. But can he? Morty and Rick, they have a bond. Morty's kind of proving to be tougher than he looks. It's kind of hard to tell how attached Morty is to Rick. But I suppose Morty will miss Rick, but he won't be as broken up as Beth would. We see that Rick doesn't just to care for Morty. He cares for the whole family. He does what he does for the whole family. He sacrifices himself. Ironically, in this sense, Rick does abandon them like Beth fears, but in the most caring, selfless way possible, and with a sacrifice. Which is kind of ironic. I guess it's sort of paralleling what Rick did all those years ago with abandoning Beth and her mother. He's doing it again this time, but for, I'm guessing, completely different reasons. I'm assuming Rick didn't leave Beth and her mother with good intentions. At the end of the episode, after the credits, we get Mr. Poopy Butthole watching the episode, being funny, acting all, excited about wondering what's going to happen, and, and then he makes that joke, we'll find out in about a year and a half or more. Which, you guys, it's kind of like a little poke at how long it took for season 2 to come out after season 1. I'm really hoping it doesn't take that long. Oh boy. We leave off on a cliffhanger this episode. We're gonna have to wait till season 3 to find out how this all resolves. I'm curious, and I really want to know where this leads Rick and Morty, as characters. Will they be able to return to their lives? How are they going to deal with Rick being a criminal of that level? I mean, he can't go back to Earth, even if he does escape. And they can't go back to how they lived on the run, because that would completely fly in the face of the point of Rick's sacrifice. Unless they all decide that they don't need Earth. I sincerely hope that Jerry is not written. I sincerely hope that Jerry is not written with the same sort of atmosphere around him when we get back. Like, I want to like him. I mean, he's not my favorite character, but he does have his moments, and I hope we get to see more of them. Well, I think that's the end of this review, this video. And that's also the end of my reviews of Season 2. When Season 3 hits, and, if I decide to talk about any other shows, I probably won't do it episode by episode, because this proved to be a bit challenging, especially with setbacks and, delays and things like that, not being able to get them done in time. I think it'd be easier to just talk about it all at once, maybe, talk about a premiere and then talk about the ending and how that, or something, I don't know. I probably won't do episode by episode from now on, just to let you know. Anyway, this has been Rick and Morty Season 2. Fantastic. I loved it, in some ways better than the first season. I hope to see what, how they resolve this thrilling cliffhanger. Catch you on the flip side.